What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Stroke, the art of mental stimulation. What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, I'm living every day. Grateful to God that he woke me up this morning.
You know, I'm starting to think we're going to have to put that on a T-shirt or something. I think.
Well, grateful?
I mean, whatever that saying you just
Gratitude.
said. That's what that is? No,
Breathing.
I'm talking about the actual words of what you said. You coined that, man. Because I feel like that's in my brain from hearing you say it. So that means you're grateful every day no matter what.
Oh, you got to start the day with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother.
I mean, principalities become a thing.
Principalities, the P's. That's like a tongue twister.
Well,
Peter Piper picked the pepper.
Ooh.
I forgot the rest.
Picked it up?
All that.
Or don't give up. But, you know, we got to, bring ourselves back to reality. Reality is this. You woke up this morning, right? Mm-hmm. You grateful to walk the face of the earth, right?
Man, am I?
Or are we thinking about what happened just now or what happened in the past? In other words, get caught up.
Oh, yeah. I'm caught up already. I'm like a deer in the headlight right now. I'm like, durr, and you moved on. I was still sitting there on the stuff you said, that wordplay. You did that. But I was just sitting here. You know, I was just thinking, you know, I guess I went back in memory lane like you were just talking about the past. And I was thinking about, you know, I wanted to date someone. You know, I wanted to date someone. So, you know, I was always nice. I was always kind. And I did nice things. I was thoughtful. You know, I was doing the small stuff. You know, I was complimenting her, making her feel good. You know, she kind of felt like her spirit was levitating off the ground. You know, she felt so good. And, you know, one day I finally, you know, took her out. Took her out to a restaurant. You know, went on a little date. Everything was nice. And, you know, the waitress came up. And that same kindness that I extended to her, I extended that kindness to the waitress. She seemed like she had a rough night or something. So I was just talking with her, joking and laughing with her. And the person I was with, the words they had to say was, "Why are you being so nice?
Why are you being so kind?
Why are you being so nice? Why are you being so kind?" And that kind of puzzled me, man. I'm like, isn't that what we are supposed to do? You know?
I would think we should live in kindness.
Right. We just spoke about kindness. I think it was 2 weeks ago, the episode 2 weeks ago. We talked about kindness in a different light. So, you know, tonight we say we want to hit it a little bit different, you know, kindness or flirtation. Where does that line fall? I mean, a lot of people, you know, that's something that they actually deal with. What is being too kind?
That's one of the biggest problems. Some people don't know how to hit the proper angles.
Right.
You know, kindness versus flirtation. So if you hit the right angle, you create a balance.
Okay.
Be kind, be innocent, be loving. You can erase the other when it's misunderstood.
But it almost feels
we'll get
like
there.
It almost feels like you know, you talk kindness all the time. Excuse me, but when it comes to dating or, you know, getting to know another individual intimately on that level, that's where it stops. I've heard that a lot, you know, especially with our personalities. We talk to people, you know, we try to uplift people, we elevate people. We're always nice and kind to people. So, you know, when does that line come when it's too much? I thought at all times that's just what we're supposed to be. I didn't know when you're actually dating someone or you're getting to know somebody on that type of level, it's supposed to stop. It's supposed to come to a cease, a halt. And that's how some people act.
Well, I wouldn't say stop, but at the end of the day, we do need to be respectful. Take it in consideration. Let me ask you a question. So if you and I were together and we walked out and something offended you along the way and you expressed it, what should I do at that moment?
And I expressed it?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Maybe if I thought it was an offense, maybe. I mean, do you think it was offensive or, you know, or is it just me that thought it was offensive? Because you probably wasn't. Your perspective is.
Regardless of the perspectives, if it hurt your feelings, that needs to be taken in consideration.
No, but look, think about it, though. Like I said, at that restaurant, just being nice. Hey, how's your evening? Smiling, happy, whatever. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing disrespectful, whatever. But in her mind, because, you know, she felt that spirit levitating. She felt that feeling that she felt. It's like she wanted to possess it as only her own, something for herself.
So you know what I think about when you say that right there?
What?
Most people are not comfortable with being themselves, so they don't understand the natural course of action, so they understand nothing about nature, God's creation.
Right. So I think they look at it like that's the thing that got their attention. You know, I was so nice and kind or whatever. So now they're looking at it like I'm extending it to this person too. So maybe I'm going to look at them in the same way.
Trying to equalify that fact.
Right. That's what they're doing when I'm being kind to that person. Not looking
Unfair,
at right.
That nature has no direction in that course.
Right. I'm just being what I was taught to be when we're kids, when we're young. What were we taught? Be kind.
Be kind.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Share.
Be loving.
Don't say anything unless don't say anything at all unless it's something nice.
But as you grow up and you and I become more intimate as people, we get more familiar with each other, that we start thinking we own something. You're going to have to go back to an episode that talked about the obsession.
The possession obsession?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we're going to have to go all the way back because, see, that's a problem. Let nature take its course. See, God does not show that type of distinguishment.
Right.
Again, that's why I brought up respect, though. See, at the end of the day, if you express yourself to me and I say, hey, look, I'm sorry, that particular aspect won't happen again. I'm trying to consider your feelings, but I'm going to still be nice.
Okay.
You can't change that factor.
What about complimenting a stranger when you're dating somebody with somebody? Is that disrespectful, or is it just like insecurity or lack of trust in a relationship? Because I see someone.
Both.
Okay, let's say I see someone and I'm with someone and I'm like, oh my God, that outfit looks nice on you, you know, and she's like, oh, thank you, whatever. What are you telling her outfit looks nice for? I didn't say I want to be intimate with her. Just it was a nice outfit, a nice dress. It matched her skin complexion. I'm all of a sudden supposed to be blind. I'm all of a sudden supposed to not be kind and uplift just because, you know, I decided to spend more quality time with you.
I think we got to be balanced in that regard. Who's the initiator? If we're all engaging in a conversation and you pay a compliment, I think that's innocent. Now, if you go trying to create that scenario amongst that situation, then I think that's probably a problem.
It depends on, you can tell intent behind it. Okay, the person's with me. So, number one, I'm not disrespectful, even though there are people who will be disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful. So, me, I'm really just right in front of you. Oh, that's a nice dress. What's the problem?
You talking about if we all... Give a hypothetical.
Not all. I'm walking through a grocery store and I just see a random person and I'm like, oh, that dress is nice.
Oh man, that's innocent as could be.
Right, but
like your outfit, man.
Right.
Like you saw it, caught you. You acted responsibly.
Right, but a lot of people look at it and say that is being disrespectful. You with me? Why are you complimenting someone else? Why are you being nice and kind to someone else while you're with me? Like I say, where's the line? I think that has something to do with having trust within the relationship.
You know what I think?
What?
Sounds like communication is important.
Does that matter when it comes to that, though?
Oh, yeah.
Just perspective.
All of it is. Look, without communication, we have nothing.
Okay.
We have the capacity to be able to vocalize ourselves, right?
Okay. So someone says, that bothers me, you just compliment another person right in front of me, they communicate that. I don't agree with it. How would I get them to understand it? Oh, no, that was nothing. No. It just was a nice dress, you know, nothing against you or whatever. I mean, that's me. I would say that's just how I am. You know, I'm nice.
Right.
And you met me like that. I was nice to you. So, you know.
So if y'all have a conversation and y'all continuously talk about it and try to understand each other's perspective and innocence prevails.
Okay.
So what do you do if somebody continues the course when you have no ill intent? What do you do then?
I think at that point, we probably have to part ways because I'm going to have to get rid of part of myself. You know, me being nice and being kind and, you know, meeting people, you know, trying to provide light. I feel like God created me to do, but I feel like my mom and the teachers and all the people when I was young told me to do, be nice and kind. I was never taught to stop it at somewhere. Like, hey, don't be nice here. When you make a commitment, stop being nice.
So if somebody takes something pure and turns it into something negative, should they be in your life? You already answered it. So that's what we have to ask ourselves.
A lot of couples will be broken up right now, though.
Oh, well.
If that was the case.
Are we wasting time?
Oh, wow. That's going to be an eye-opener for people right
Are
there.
we wasting time?
A lot of people, I wish he would in front of me. I wish he would say something to somebody in front of me.
Sounds toxic.
So most relationships, I guess you could say they are toxic. We had an episode about that too. Because in the world we live in, man, that's really not acceptable. I've been in a drive-thru before. A drive-thru, talking to the person in the drive-thru. Why are you all through the window? Saying all, I'm like,
What happened just now?
Because I want my food to be clean.
What happened?
What are you talking about?
You were engaging?
Yeah.
And something happened?
Yeah, something happened,
You
man.
were like looking at somebody else in the eye.
Yeah, I was looking at somebody else in the eyes.
There's a phrase, what they call that phrase? Don't be going smiling and looking people in the something
Right.
like that. Some trivial thing.
Smiling in the face. What, I'm supposed to frown when I speak to someone?
Oh my God. See, we can extreme it, right?
Right.
See, my problem with it is, what is your intention? See, my problem, we project.
Right.
Because we have those insecurities. We're uncomfortable with eye contact. We're uncomfortable with the idea that a spirit could connect to another besides ourselves
Right.
or our partner.
Yes.
And now we're insecure. That's not supposed to be a negative thing.
Right. I realized that as I grew older, you know, I used to think that your partner is supposed to encompass everything that you're looking for. And when you realize that is not the truth, your partner does not have to be everything you're looking for. It does not have to connect all the dots. Your friends can be a part of that, your family, and I'm really realizing that because, you know, we're reared to believe that. Even in our households growing up, that's where that stuff is cultivated at. When you're a young kid, and not every household, whatever, but the things that we're discussing, you might see that with your parents or your peers or your siblings or something like that. I mean, with that blank slate we have, we see them interacting like this when they come to that. Like possession obsession. You're mine. You're mine. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. You only can go so far. You can't speak about this. You can't speak about that. I mean, it's taught at an early age, so it's already in our brain as we get older.
Oh, yeah. So we're programmed to think a certain way, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what that becomes. Think about your ideology. Think about your belief system. Ask yourself, one of the biggest problems we also have within ourselves is we don't understand why we believe what we believe. So kindness, what's attached to all those thoughts? What is attached to the characteristics of kindness? Do we see it in certain parameters?
Right. I think the main thing that separates kindness and flirtation, because that's what we're talking about, is intent. That's it.
Man.
It's intent.
Again, are you trying to be loving?
Right.
Or are you trying to get something?
Right. Now,
ask yourself that.
Go ahead.
No, I just ask yourself.
I mean, because there are people who will be disrespectful, who are manipulative. I can't get it out.
Manipulative.
Who are, and they will try to use that and then make that an excuse, though. But like you said, the biggest thing is, what is your intent? I can't stop being kind to people. I can't stop being who I am. I mean, I don't know. It might be that person's darkest moment, and you say a word to them, and all of a sudden they're alive again. They can feel the breath back in their body. They feel their fingertips tingling again, their toes. You know, you might have brought them back just by being kind.
Ooh, you got me on the subject right now.
What's the subject?
Well, think about the fact that we're talking about mental health, and ever since 2020, we know that anxiety, depression, and so forth and so on has become worse. We're disconnected. We can't even look at each other because we're so programmed to look at our phone and be instantly gratified.
Right.
That kindness seems like what? The opposite?
It does, man.
So you take something as innocent and pure as trying to connect to another soul, and we'll turn it into a negative, a derogatory.
Right. For something to work for me, it would have to be a person that's just as kind, man. I thought I just got hit in the spirit.
No. I just wanted to make sure we understood something.
What is that?
We're not talking about trying to make someone uncomfortable or jealous or feel some type of way.
But isn't that their battle, though, if they feel that type of way? Like I say, it's intent.
Communication is important. Our ultimate goal is to stay connected.
But if we do that, like I said, most couples will be broken up.
No. Here you go. Let's go backwards. So if you're with a significant other,
okay,
and that significant other expresses their concern and they try to identify what the problem is, and both of you can connect and try to figure out and understand each other's background to understand that, and you dialogue that out and keep purity at the case.
Right.
Now, see, our problem is we're scared to be vulnerable. We're scared to be our true self. So most people's intent seems to be evil, which sadly is the case.
Right.
If we're playing percentages, if we're playing the fact that most people will act a certain way because of.
Right.
So it's up to us to communicate that to each other. Look, man, when I know that someone has massive insecurities, I do my best.
Right. That's all you can do.
But I always say, look, I'm with you, yeah.
Right.
I'm just talking to another.
Exactly, man.
And mean it, though.
But how often would you have to do that? It seems like somebody with that problem, you always have to reassure them like that. Would you be comfortable with doing it all the time, or would it become too much?
So we're looking for a measuring stick?
I'm just asking, because what if it's the duration of the relationship and they always feel like that?
If it's the majority?
If it's the relationship, that's who they are. So they always question everything.
I blame both parties.
How so if the one that's just kind is innocent in it? How do you blame both parties?
If they say connected.
Oh, okay. I still don't get that one, man.
No, they got to disconnect.
Yeah. Oh, you saying they have to disconnect. If they stay connected, it's your fault because you're staying there through it all.
Yeah. Why are both parties suffering at that point? They have a misunderstanding.
Interesting. So I think I would go this route, just thinking about communicating. I had to have them before, but, maybe if it comes about again, I'll probably take this approach and say, hey, what did you like most about me, when we met? And, they get to talking about the kindness and the way I made them feel, and I was there, and the support, and, all these great things, man. So I'm like, what if now, I switch all that up, and I'm not any of those things you just named? What if I was disrespectful to you? What if I cursed at you? What if I talked about things that you're insecure about or whatever? How would you feel? Oh, I would feel bad, or I would feel this and this and this. You wouldn't be with me, right? So you telling me not to be who I am, the same thing I gave to you, that's just what I give to the world. God put that inside of me. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm here with you. I'm sitting right here next to you. I wouldn't be here with you if that was the case, if I didn't want to be. I'm not going to be unhappy, so I'm happy here with you. So, you got to trust me. I'm just being kind.
So I would go right back to the fact that communication is so essential. Yes. We have this massive privilege of vocalization. Our vibration, right? our internal being has a vibe, a frequency by itself, right?
Okay.
So our choice of words, our choice of interaction with another is a vocal expression of that vibration. So what frequency are we choosing?
Right.
Is it kindness? Is it manipulation? Is it understanding?
Okay. So does it matter, okay, the person you're talking to, you're being nice and kind to with your significant other here, or if they're not here, a person that you know that's attracted to you and they like you in that way, do you hold back the kindness then because you already know they have these feelings for you? You think that intensifies it? They think the intent may be a little different, or you still just be you? You still be nice and kind?
No, I mean, there's a balance. There's a balance. You know, for example, you should not be kind.
Right.
But at the same time, as you see certain, maybe they start vocalizing something that's beyond your intention. I think you should balance your action and your energy.
Right. Be mindful of how they may take it, even their perception.
Just balance, yeah.
Of another's perception.
But not necessarily erasing yourself. But balance. You know, be kind, be loving still.
Okay, interesting. Okay, if you're...
For example, you don't have to capitalize. Remember, we live in a Western civilization. Capitalism is a thing. It's called capital. It's called capital gain. Stepping on another to get your own personal gain, right?
Right.
So the very moment you know that you could take advantage of a person, do you or don't you?
Don't you?
Look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror.
So at the end of the day, if you exhibit kindness at that part, despite the ill intent that's behind all things, even if that's their perception, that's on you. That's your responsibility at that point. I hope I'm not going.
No. So you're saying you're responsible for that other person's perception?
No.
If you're aware, I'm saying if you're aware of what their perception is, then you're responsible for handling that accordingly?
You're responsible for always showing the proper type of love and kindness.
And then you have to be clear, too. If you say they express that to you, you have to set clear boundaries. I guess you have to let them know, hey, I'm off the market, with this person, but you're still a beautiful spirit. You're still a beautiful person. You don't take away your kindness.
I like those words.
But you're clear, I bet.
You're still a beautiful spirit. I like that.
Oh, you going to use that or have you used that?
Well, most people are beautiful whether they realize it or not. Their spirit is beautiful. I don't know a spirit that's technically not. The flesh gives us images.
Long pause. God, dog. That was a long pause, man.
What's the truth?
Oh, okay, I got you.
The flesh can be deceptive. That's why a fruit is a representation of the flesh, not the spirit.
So you really look at that, view that like that. I mean, I thought that was just like a phrase, but that is a fleshy, what they say, fleshly fruit. Is that what they say?
Well, think about the desires, the insatiability. It's attached to fleshly desires, right?
Oh, okay, I got you. So, flirtation. Let's talk about that. When does it cross the line of flirtation? Like, give me an example of that. Like, build something up when it's considered flirtation. Not your partner don't have to be sitting right there with you. It's just you.
Doesn't matter. All right. Well, I do think we have to be careful when it comes to flirtation. Paying genuine compliments to each other is a beautiful thing. Joking, clowning, that's all beautiful and everything, right? Flirtation, we have to be mindful of because if it crosses the line, if we both don't have the same intent, think about it in that capacity.
If we both don't have the same intent? But how can you I can't get it out. How can you know one's intent? How can you always know?
That's
you can't.
why communication is so important.
I'm speaking
I sound like a boomerang.
Yeah. I'm just speaking, not whoever your significant other is, the other person. Like, what if you don't know their intent? Like, you don't always know a person's intent all the time, no matter who it is. They can keep it to themselves.
All right, let's think of an example. So we have a spouse, right? We have a spouse. We're going to walk this path together. Okay. We both have a spouse. We tell our spouse they look good in their outfit.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You tell somebody that's not your spouse they look good in their outfit. Is that flirting?
It depends on body language, probably, intent behind it. Because, I can tell somebody look good in their outfit, and I could be flirting. And I can tell somebody look good in their outfit. Like, I know this lady. She's like 80 years old. And she, I call her fashionista. Like, oh, you look good today, girl. You look nice or whatever. I'm talking to her. I'm not flirting with her. I'm telling her because she really looks good in her outfit. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know.
I'm glad you said I don't know.
What?
the end of the day, it's about communication again.
Right.
Because I remember somebody told me one time, I used the word, that person's attractive. And they said, well, you shouldn't use the word attract. And I was like, I just meant they look nice.
Okay. Right.
And they said, well, attract means you're drawn to, you're compelled to. And I went, oh my God, now what are we talking about? The spirit or the flesh?
But you can be drawn
attracted
to or compelled to a person, and I mean anything. That don't mean I want to be with them just because I'm drawn to them. That's the truth.
Well, at that moment, guess what we have to learn?
What?
With that person, that word is a trigger, so we use a different word.
So
that's why communication is important.
That's a good one.
So you can say, hey, man, that person's outfit or how they're put together, whatever represents the same thing with the same intent, but a different verb or terminology. But make sure your intent is pure. And the reason you could tell is because you chose to use a different word.
No, but think about this, though. That could be an attractive person. I'm single now. Okay. The spouse scenario's gone. It could be an attractive person. I can say she's attractive. That don't mean it's anything beyond that. I just think she's attractive. I don't want to or have to be with every person that I deem attractive.
And that is a good analogy because we're talking about the difference between being in a relationship and not being in a relationship. So we're trying to take each other's considerations into
I'm not even talking about for that point of consideration now. I move past that. I'm looking at just the word attractive. That's just what she is.
Oh,
it's a fact.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
That don't mean I want to be. I see a lot of attractive people, while single, whatever. I see a lot of attractive people that don't mean I want to be with them.
Right.
So people can't just take that and go with it, like I say, just because you're being nice, being kind, or just stating a fact.
Right.
You got to be secure in yourself enough to know that, there are other attractive people in the world, and beauty is an eye of the beholder. So, everybody's attracted to somebody. Hopefully.
And most times it's the spirit. They don't even realize
Yes, man. That's what it is. The spirit can pull me before a mug shot.
Drawn.
Drawn?
Yeah.
Like
DRAWN.
Okay, drawn. I thought it was that, like drawn in?
Drawn in.
Gotcha.
Unless you want to draw.
It'll pull at you. Huh? I am, man.
I could tell.
I create.
I'm listening.
I bet. I hope they are too.
Well, I'd imagine.
You already know, man. It don't even matter. We let you in our world all the time, man. Oh, did we even... we welcome them back to Stroke the Automated Stimulation, but for people who have never been here before, we touch subjects at depths that most people aren't willing to go, man. We dive in there, we get deep. We touch on subjects that you probably think about, talk about every day. Maybe you don't say it out loud, but it's passed through your brain. Interesting. Why do you look like that right now?
What do I look like?
Give
me a description. Okay. I dare you.
You want me to? You sure? Because
I don't care.
I'm raw and I'm honest. So that painting that they have of the guy is like a work of art. I don't know who did it, Michelangelo or whatever, but he's just sitting there. He's like looking off. I don't know if it's the right or left, but he's looking off with like a chiseled cheek, and he's standing there. And he got his...
You trying to say I have a chiseled cheek?
I just saying he had a member that was sitting there. It wasn't the biggest member he had. And it was sitting there, and he's like a work of art, but they look at him like as if he's perfection. They don't judge him by that. That's the look he had, y'all. He was just looking off into space like a work of art.
Yeah. Well, chemistry is a beautiful thing. And one of the things we have to do for ourselves, man, communication is essential. We have to try to build ourselves up to have enough confidence within ourselves, security within ourselves, to not worry about those things, because that becomes one of the biggest problems. You realize that we talked about insecurity, right? So when you don't believe in yourself, you have no conviction about yourself, no confidence within yourself. You worry about things,
right?
There's no reason to complain. Be grateful,
right?
Appreciate you. So when you're interacting with another person, they can't help but be built up and always want you. So if they don't want you, let them go.
Right, just like that.
Well,
that easy.
Kindness versus flirtation.
Right.
Be kind, and guess what? Will always stay around.
What happened?
Love.
All right, man.
I almost said something else.
Man, you need to stop, because I haven't said nothing else left to be said. You did it with that, man. Everything, love trumps everything. At all times, love trumps everything, man. If you get down and out and you wonder what's going on and you don't know the next step, look for love, man. Look towards love, give kindness, and it will all come back to you, just like that boomerang you spoke about earlier.
Well, evolve.
We talked about that before too, didn't we?
It's an evolution in love.
It's an evolution, man. Y'all better look back on those episodes. If you're just getting here, I'm telling you, you can click on something and I guarantee you can relate to it, man. Hit that button. Go subscribe. For those of you who are new to social media, also go to @Strok'D, STROK'D _ the podcast, STROK'D _ the podcast. And we've been trying not to keep you guys long. It's actually one of the longer ones lately, man. 25 minutes is a longer one for us. You remember we started like an hour in the beginning?
Well, that's called virginity being expressed.
But guess what, though? No matter if it's an hour, whether it's 25 minutes, you guys know what just happened to you.
You got
stroked all the way up. Bye.